What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I have to talk about Kingdom Hearts 4 being in early development. I have other theories and discussion videos planned for Kingdom Hearts 4 like I did this morning, but I couldn't let this go another day. This is from their official website, from Square Enix. There's no butchering this. There's no reading it wrong. Now, there's, I guess, ways of interpreting it, which we will talk about throughout this video. But this, again, was the article that they had posted, and they talked about today as part of the 20th anniversary. Disney announced that, or Square Enix and Disney announced that Kingdom Hearts 4, the newest installment in the beloved RPG series, is in early development, and also revealed a brand new mobile game, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. By the way, that Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, I guarantee you, is going to be very vital to understanding the story that continues in Kingdom Hearts. So we'll all have to make sure we're up to date, just like Union Cross and all of those, really every game under the sun Kingdom Hearts related. All right, early development scares me, and I also want to remain optimistic. It's a weird kind of, equilibrium that I'm in right now, because when I see that, and I tweeted this, and definitely it did get people worried, right? My initial prediction was January 2024, and I did that pretty simply just because of January of when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So I tried to keep the same month, and then I thought, all right, well, there's no way this game comes out next year. So then, you go to the year after, 2024, and then you say January. So that's how I arrived in my prediction. Now, the fact that it's in early development, it could just be wording, right? Because, again, trying to remain optimistic, I guess the question is when in God's name is this game going to come out? I still don't think it's as far away as Kingdom Hearts 3. So Kingdom Hearts 3, remember, again, I said this, in the past videos, 5 years. They announced that game 5 years before, Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. Now, that has pretty overwhelmingly been kind of like they gave it to us that was a mistake. You know what I mean? That they shouldn't have done that. The stuff that they showed us in that first look, if you even call it that, for Kingdom Hearts 3, that was the only thing they had made at the time. All right? Now, from word on the street, it doesn't sound like we're too far removed for Kingdom Hearts 4. Like, the worlds are currently being developed, stuff like that. But I get the sense, and I just kind of hope and pray that they wouldn't make the same mistake 2 times in a row. And now, I guess Melody of Memory breaks that, breaks the loop. But Kingdom Hearts 3, 5 years, they announced it, and then it came out 5 years later. But again, they've kind of admitted that was not a good idea. And I just don't know why, for the next main installment, not a spin-off game, not anything else, for the like Kingdom Hearts, the number 4, big deal, right? To do the exact same thing again. Announce it now, and then to have it come out in 27. I mean, will I even be alive in 2020? I don't know. It's just it's so far away. It's so far away, and I can't envision that would actually happen. Again, like, I know you can probably stretch it both ways. Like, I'm trying to use the defense that hopefully it doesn't happen. I'm sure you could use the defense that, well, it doesn't look done. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like it's coming out in another less than 2 years from now. So, and I agree. I would say now 2025 is probably my prediction. Maybe like spring of 25. I'm hoping for like spring of 24, but I don't know. I don't know if you can do it in 2 years. Now, but again, to remain optimistic, one thing I want to kind of highlight, early development, and it could just be like the wording, right? There's a couple different phrases gaming developers use when talking about their game, right? There's like a concept phase or conceptual phase, and that really means nothing's been done yet. Like, boiled down. Max Payne, here's a good example. Literally last week, Remedy Games, Remedy Entertainment, announced they're doing Max Payne 1 and 2's remake with the supervision of Rockstar. They're giving them the money, all that stuff, right? And in that press release, they literally said it's just in the concept phase right now. Like, they haven't started it at all. Like, they're envisioning what it could be. Now, yes, is there work associated with that? Yeah, I'm kind of exaggerating. I'm not saying they just announce it, they put out a press release, and they haven't actually done literally anything. But in terms of, like, head to the computer and the keyboard and mouse at the ready, like, they haven't really entered that yet. You know what I mean? So if you look at that one as like the most extreme, Max Payne 1 and 2's remake is years and years and years away because they haven't even started. Now, there's another phrase, pre-production, right? Now, this is the same for movies as it is for games. This is that phase that leads directly up to full-on production. Now, again, to remain optimistic, this is early development. I want to believe they mean early full-on development. So I feel like we're already past the concept phase, and we're already past pre-production, and we are now into full-on, everybody's in, they're working on the game every single day, like all. That's what I think we're at. Now that could be wrong. Again, like you know, I'm sure there could be evidence to prove, but like that's just my opinion as of right now. That's where I'm hoping that we are for Kingdom Hearts 4, is that we're in full-on production, but we're just kind of in the beginning of it. And it makes sense, you know, like the worlds are being created. I feel like Nomura probably already knows the worlds he wants. They just literally have to make, which is in that production phase. So I guess you could argue maybe it would be done before then, but again, I'm going to argue the opposite. So that's the optimistic part of me, is that if they're in full-on production, which yes, full-on production can also take many, many years. I'm not saying it, you know, it won't, but at least we already skipped the first 2 steps. You know what I mean? So could it be done in 2 years? Yeah, I mean, to be flat out honest, I do think it's possible, albeit unlikely, that within 2 years that you can go from early development to, you know, we're in the midst of it, to we're at the end of it. I think you could do that within 2 years. Again, unlikely, yes. A stretch, yes. Could you do it in 3 years? Very much. Every year you add, 3 years, 4 years, 5. I think the odds improve of could you manage to do it in time, right? Normally, the last like 6, 8, maybe 12 months is normally just like fixing everything, right? Just full on, just fixing everything. And so, you know, you have to give it like that final year for that. So, you know, can you accomplish everything in 1 year and then do your fixes in year 2, and then could it come out spring of 2024? Yes, but again, I feel like that would be rushed. And the last thing Kingdom Hearts needs, I know there's been like talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, you know, is that it can be rushed. That's the last thing that it needs, is to be rushed. So here's hoping the whole Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 thing isn't that big of a deal and can move really quickly. Again, I'm going to go 3 years. I think 3 years is kind of that sweet spot. I just pray to God that we, you know, this is not even like 4 years. I really think 3 is that sweet spot. 4 years becomes kind of a struggle. 5 years becomes a massive struggle. I mean, I'm really done with games being announced 5 years ahead of time. We talked about like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. Like that's what they do, because they're trying to sell consoles, and I don't really like that either, right? The fact that we can see a game that early, and I think that's being phased out. I don't think we need to know or see, well, maybe know in terms of leaks and rumors, right? But in terms of seeing a game in front of our eyes, I don't think that should happen officially if the game is more than like 3 years away. If it's 4, if it's 5 years, that's half a decade. That's almost the next console. If Kingdom Hearts 4 does release in 2027, like the spring, that'll most likely, maybe, be the same year that the next generation of consoles come out in the fall. It could very well be that exact same year. So think about that. You know what I mean? So they would have skipped this entire generation, because while I'm only talking about 5 years from right now, the question also remains, what have they been doing since Kingdom Hearts 3 release, right? Melody of Memory, other things, but what have they done the last 3 years? Now, that's a question I kind of want to try to answer in other videos, and if you guys have any ideas of what the heck they've been up to, you can definitely let me know, right? So that's kind of where I'm at, too. They could, realistically, it's possible they could skip this entire generation or come out at the very, very end of it, and I don't want that either. So please, for the love of God, 2 to 3 years, have this game come out, you know, have your spin-offs after that, go from... I'm not expecting Kingdom Hearts 5 for, like, you know, 12, 13 years at this point, but you know, just give me 4 and then have your spin-offs, and I'll play those ones as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, so you know when all these videos go up. I got many more Kingdom Hearts 4 ideas coming in terms of videos very, very soon. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.